Hello everybody, this is Paul from Aquariums and Gardens. Hope you're doing great today. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Bokashi soil factory that I have set up. And I mentioned in another video the reasons why I like to use Bokashi composting versus other forms of composting. The reason I like Bokashi composting, and specifically the Bokashi soil factory, is because with, as mentioned in my other video, which I'll share a link above there and then as well as below in the comment section, with Bokashi compost, you can either put it directly into the soil where nothing's growing, leave it there for a couple weeks, it'll eventually turn into the soil, it'll be digested by the microbial life in your soil, as well as the worms will eventually get to it. So with a Bokashi soil factory, what you're doing is you're taking that Bokashi, putting it into the soil factory, and basically doing that process but in a separate container. Especially when you have a garden where you got things growing like I do, you can't put straight Bokashi in there because it's very acidic and it'll kill the plants. So instead what you do is put it in the soil factory, and then once it's done processing in the soil factory, you can take it out and put it on the in and around your plants, and that acts as a great nutrient fertilizer and soil life booster. So I'll show you, I've got a completed Bokashi soil factory over there that I use. There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can, if you have you can dig a hole in the ground and put your Bokashi in there, put it in there with some soil, dirt as well, and then use that, then come back later and dig it out, put it around your garden. You can create like an enclosed container, similar to like a compost container, except you're just putting your dirt in there and your Bokashi compost. I've seen and heard of other people who actually put it into their compost bin as well, and just as part of the regular compost, they'll treat it the same way. My personal preference is to do the soil factory because I can immediately use that, put it in and around my garden plants, and then they get a great boost from that. Processed into the soil factory, and so I'll show you that process as well. So this is the completed product right here. I can see eggshells in there that they usually take a lot longer to break down. But everything else that I put in here, and this was mixed with a couple pounds of Bokashi, and you can see it just looks like a, just kind of a nice soil mix. And there's some eggshells you can see. I also see some black fly soldier larvae in there. The shell's actually from them. They're great for processing your Bokashi. I mean, all in all, you really don't see anything. You really don't see anything from the Bokashi itself. It's all been processed down to a soil, which is great. So I'm going to start putting this in and around the garden, especially on plants that can use it. Now that, for the most part, I've emptied out the bin. There's still a little bit of soil in there, which is fine. It'll go great with the next batch. What I'm going to do to start off with is just add some soil. So this is just soil I buy from the big box store, $2-3 a bag. I call it more dirt, and it's okay. Soil-wise, it's not something I would recommend growing anything in without a lot of amendments. But hey, it works great for Bokashi. So once I've got a base layer in there of the new soil, I'm going to go grab the Bokashi and add that. Here's my completed batch of Bokashi. As you can see, I use a plate here to weight it down, kind of push it down, as well as cover it with a plastic bag. And this is what the finished product looks like, at least regards with the my Bokashi. The white stuff there is white mold. You can still see some of the Bokashi flakes. I've got onion peels, vegetable peels, tea leaves, and a bunch more stuff in there. So I'm just going to dump that right in here. Set this aside for now. Grab my shovel here. Just get the rest of this, the last of this stuff here. Level it out a little bit. So as you can see, this is what the last one looked like. It's got quite a bit of eggshells in there, and you basically can see all the food, you know, the separate food stuff. They've basically just been pickled. So with this, I need to top it off with the remainder of the soil. Back, I need to grab another bag. Model this out. This looks like a sufficient quantity of soil in here. I don't want to overfill it though, because then it makes it harder to pull, pick up and drag around. But with this quantity here, it's a perfect amount. So I recommend grabbing a scoop of soil from one of your active gardens, your healthy gardens, and putting it in the Bokashi soil factory here. With that, basically you're inoculating it with your local microbial life that that grows well in your garden. It's helping your garden grow. So when you're buying straight from this big box store, in whichever big box store you're buying your soil straight from there, who knows how long it's been in a bag. It's probably been sitting on a concrete floor. So the microbial life you have in there might not necessarily be the same that you have in your garden. If the bag's been sitting out next to your garden, then certainly there's a possibility that those microbes kind of migrate in there. Most of these bags have holes in them just to allow them to drain, so the microbes can easily get in there. But anytime you're doing a full fresh batch, I would do that. Since I didn't take out 100% of the soil in there was still some in there. So initially when I first did it, I did grab a scoop of soil from my garden I did grab a scoop of soil from my garden to inoculate the pile. Last step I like to do is just get in there with the hand shovel and just kind of scoop it, twist, put it in, and mix it up, just so that the soil can get in full contact with Bokashi. Ends up being a good quality soil product. With that being done, I'll cap it up so nothing big can get in there, no big animals. And then I'll put it under the deck over there where it's shaded, because I don't want the sun to bake it and basically kill everything in there. I want it just to process. And so it's going to go under the deck over there, and it'll sit for about 3 weeks. So that's how I make my soil in a Bokashi soil factory. And as I mentioned, I top dress my plants. It's kind of a natural fertilizer. after it's processed all those materials, the organics, in your Bokashi compost, and it becomes a great additive to your soil. So with these plants, like I said, most of my garden here I haven't had the need to fertilize. I just use a liquid fish fertilizer, and then I've used EM1, and then so I don't use any other spot fertilizers. This does great, and everything's growing great as a result of that. Come fall time, after the frost, when the plants are all taken down, I will still use this method. You know, in the past, like in the bed over here with the tomatoes, I've trenched those, put it in. Obviously, there's nothing growing there. It's easy to trench it, cover it over. But I think with this, I'm just going to go through batches and just, you know, one box each bed, one full box of this Bokashi soil, and just top dress it, and then leave it over the winter time, and then come fall, I'm thinking it should be going good. So, what questions do you have about Bokashi? Have you ever tried Bokashi compost and creating a Bokashi soil factory? Or is there another type of composting method you prefer? Why do you prefer it, and what are your results? Any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And again, thank you as always for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.